Hey, how's it going? My name is Jackie Fish and welcome back to another custom scenario battle for Medieval Kingdoms 1212, and today is going to be an amazing one. This has a battle of two parts, which is really cool. Not only is there a reinforcement battle as these two forces rushes to the defense of Flanders, there is also an ambush, so the two armies reinforcing are actually then being ambushed, so we're going to have multiple battles and it's going to be very exciting to see how this one does pan out. I also want to give a massive shout out to the guys who played this battle and sent it in to me. I really appreciate it. These battles are always so interesting and unique, so keep them coming. And if you guys want to go ahead and play some Seven Kingdoms, a Game of Thrones mod, and Rise of Mordor with these cool custom scenarios, I would love to cast them replays. So, you know, all three of them mods for Attila, send them my way, as it would be absolutely epic. But yes, we do have kind of a battle of two parts, I'll call it. Flanders is currently defending this area with a line of Pavese and other, heavy infantry, and they must hold off until reinforcements arrive. Attacking Flanders, we do have the forces of Norway and also the forces of Lorraine, who have actually recently received a little bit of an update, I think, to the look of some of their units. I think it's mainly these lower tier units, which maybe we don't have as many of them in, but I think they have had a few updates to make their units look a bit more kind of in par with the rest of the other factions around them. Again, I mean, even these guys do look a little bit more unique and stuff. Especially these guys with the capes as well. I love these dudes. Oh, amazing. The Alsace nobles. And then over here we have the forces of Denmark, who are currently assaulting or ambushing the reinforcement armies. Reinforcement armies are Trier and also the English as well. So yeah, as I said, it's going to be a very exciting battle. We're going to go ahead and stick on play. However, I think there's still a little bit of movement and setup left to have, but it should be very exciting. Let me know in the comments down below who you think will come out on top. Do you think these forces over here, the forces of Flanders, will be able to hold off for the English and also Trier to deal with Norway? Because obviously, Denmark's going to come flying in, and basically Denmark's job in this battle is literally just to slow up the reinforcement armies as much as possible, allowing these two aggressive armies of Lorraine and also of Norway to go ahead and crush this defensive army. So yeah, as I said, it's going to be a very interesting battle, lots of scenario stuff happening, and I will jump ahead to when the battle has begun. Okay guys, here we go. The battle has now started. The reinforcements have arrived and the army lays in wait. Over on the other side, as well as the 2v1 over on the defensive side, has now begun as well. The missiles are raining in, looking to try and break up as much of this defensive line as they can. I mean, it is really in the interest of both sides to really deal with their 1v1 as quickly as physically possible. I think a few arrows have come raining out from the forest itself, and quickly Trier do form up their infantry line to basically prepare this defense. Now, what would be really interesting for one of the reinforcement armies is if Trier, for example, formed up this defensive line and the English just kept on going over to try and reinforce their allies who are currently under attack. I think that would be a very interesting tactic and something we could possibly see. We do actually have the lines clashing extremely quickly, and my god, that's loud. Let me just turn that down a little bit as the offensive axemen do go charging in against the defensive spearmen. And this is not a bad tactic. I mean, they do really want to crush into this line as quickly as possible, because the quicker they take this line out, the quicker they can go and help out their Norwegian allies. So throwing in everything they have is not a bad idea here whatsoever. They've also got all their missiles trying to focus down these pikemen, which are obviously going to be great defensive units. Over here as well, we do have both sides forming up, as Trier once again go up against the heavy halberds of Denmark. Pretty brutal battles, but throwing in these heavy halberds is going to be a great offensive unit. Again, you've also got some noble longswords as well. Very elite infantry. These guys will do a lot of damage to the reinforcing armies. However, the English right now, obviously unloading their bowmen. They have some amazing bowmen as well as the retinue longbowmen, some of the best archers in the game. But this whole position is really keeping these forces at bay right now. The English are kind of waiting to see if anything else comes out of this forest. And that's buying the aggressors a lot of time to go ahead and break the forces of Flanders. Some really good cavalry charges coming in here as well, breaking through the thin Flemish lines right there. And now they'll be able to come back around again and charge into the back of these Flemish infantry. Again, a great cavalry charge as they try and pull out of this engagement. Lances down. And the lines are being stretched on a lot of these positions. You can see a few of these infantrymen are getting very close to breaking with the support of the archers as well. The pikemen are down though, the Flemish pikemen, which are quite well renowned. However, they are being hammered by bowmen. We actually have a unit of bowmen for, I guess this is kind of like a hybrid bowman axe infantry, I would say, for Norway. But it's kind of cool to see that just not everyone's going to be mounted on top of a horse. So it's kind of cool to see that. We take a look at the overall battlefield as well. Yeah, you can see the English are really delaying. They're now starting to push up their spear line to help out the Trier front line. But again, they've got a lot of infantry, and even if they want to, it's going to take a while to move these foot knights all the way around. I would have loved to have seen maybe Trier just try and hold this fight and then the English continue moving along. But it seems like they weren't sure how much was actually in this forest. They also have a small night engagement as well over on the ambush side right over here. A big night engagement as the Danish cavalry come flying out. The Archbishop, himself is going to lead the cavalry charge against this unit with the help of some more spearmen. It's going to be a big cavalry charge. I don't think either side is really going to be doing a ton of damage on the charge. However, we do have Trier throwing up a unit of men-at-arms, the Elector men-at-arms, who are going to come flying into the battle with all their might, looking to resupply. And I mean, I say that, the Archbishop did some serious damage to the Danish heavy knights. Wow, that was a really good charge there by the cavalry. However, it's kind of the opposite happening over here. The Danish general, the king's bodyguard, is actually taking out some of Trier's knights right there. That's not too good. How's the front line looking right here? The front line is looking okay. I mean, as you can see, the Danish are simply doing everything they need to do to keep these guys at bay. However, the English have completely wrapped around now, and they need to quickly go ahead and try and start routing this front line. There's a lot of longbowmen coming in, a bit of friendly fire, but hey, if you kill a few Germans here and there, you know, I'm sure the English won't worry too much. Yeah, the archery is pretty horrific right here. Lots of ammunition going in. It seems like, though, yeah, it seems like the Flemish line is getting very close to breaking, if not already breaking. There is a huge gap right here for the forces of Norway, and they can throw in this cavalry, this infantry. We do have a unit of gunners, though, who are going to be forming up and trying to take out a few of these guys before they do come in and charge them down, and any other infantry that have maybe routed and come back. Are these gunners going to shoot? It doesn't seem like they are. Maybe they're a bit obscured right now. More archers coming. We also have a unit of cavalry here, which the Flemish Count is going to try and rear charge, I think, once he gets past these guys. But the Flemish seem like they are really struggling right now to hold this line, and I don't think reinforcements are going to get here in time. What it seems like is going to happen is what we're going to do is we're going to have this battle kind of being over, and maybe this battle being over, and then both sides moving in. Oh, one of the generals have gone down, though. That's good. One of the, but also, who's fled? Oh, over here? Oh, I'm confused. It says someone's fled, but I don't think they have. No, the English and everyone else is still here. Even the Flemish are still holding on. But yeah, it does seem, well, as we can just saw, the Danish have actually just lost their general, and I think they're going to be in full-on retreat right now. So what they need to do is they need to send support over to that other engagement as quickly as they can. There might have been a rule, I don't know if there was, but there might have been a rule whilst these guys were playing that these two reinforcement armies couldn't reinforce the Flemish army until the entirety of Denmark had been killed. God, the Danish heavy macemen are amazing. Look how fat off their maces are. Jesus, that's a good way to break through some armor. Look at that thing. Oh my God, it looks like some like medieval torture equipment, which you would put up, you know where. So more of the English spearmen moving around to try and outflank these guys and basically just break them. Yeah, I think, yeah, we're immediately starting to see the forces of Trier forming up, preparing themselves to move in. But the Flemish king or count has been killed now at the hands of Lorraine, and now they're going to rear charge in. So I think the Flemish held off quite nicely, if I'm honest. I think they held off a little bit longer than the Danish, even though the Danish still have a couple units of infantry, but they're already starting to turn around. So that initial engagement, now that's going to turn into like a 2v2 pitch battle now, with both sides taking casualties. We can actually take a look at the numbers, because the numbers were originally extremely close. As you can see, only about 50 men in it in total, numbers-wise. And it seems like the English and Trier came out on top of that battle. Only by a couple hundred men, which really isn't too much. But that's still going to be a nice little plus for them as both sides do start to form up. We actually see some of the Huskels of Denmark moving away. And they're going to try and get into a better position, maybe still cause a bit of havoc in this battle. Definitely can still do something. I mean, you can see the English all moving down as well to reinforce. And maybe these guys can sneak their way out of this. They are currently still hidden. If they can get a good position like up here and then maybe come down, we need to be careful. We do actually have some English cavalry or some Trier cavalry even running down these guys. Just buffing their KDA a little bit. I mean, nothing too bad there whatsoever. I'm going to see some pretty fat off lines forming now, and what I'll do, guys, is once everyone's formed up, I'll bring it back to you and we can go ahead and see how this battle does end up. But it does actually seem like Lorraine and also Norway are being very aggressive, trying to go ahead and hit the reinforcement armies before they have a chance of really forming up a nice battle line. Try and catch them whilst they are all disorganized and they are a little bit tired as well. You can see quite a few of these armies are already winded and stuff, so this is not a bad idea. And honestly, you want to try and close the distance against the English as quickly as possible because they still have plenty of ammunition left on these retinue longbowmen who will do some serious damage at some serious range. So taking them out early is definitely a good decision. Oh, but we do actually have a big engagement right here, so no need to cut it whatsoever. As the last brave Danishmen charge in to make their last stand. Yeah, these are the Huskels, so they're obviously going to be extremely strong warriors. Probably some of the strongest infantry that Denmark have to bear. And again, that's going to keep the English very, very disorganized, which is, again, something they really want to do. However, oh my god, this unit is going to break, really, because the general's dead, being surrounded. But yeah, because they are the only last two, the army attrition is really coming in big right here. And they are starting to take heavy casualties, and there you go, a nice cavalry rear charge there with Trier. Will probably be enough to break them. The archer fire going out, though. Wow, look at that archer volley. Oh, not too much damage actually, but that'll lower their HP, and I imagine the next volley will do some serious damage. I want to see how much damage the next volley does do, as they do start to retain a bit of fire here. Yeah, there you go. Oh my god, yeah, look at the numbers. That first volley killed like 4 or 5. The second volley definitely killed maybe double that, if not even more. Now the next volley, again, just takes down, yeah, that. Oh wow, that next volley slaughtered them. So it's really just building up. We did a lot of crossbow fire going back and forth though, but again, these are all both Pavese crossbows, so they're not really going to do much damage to one another. Realistically, I think it's always better just to try and focus down someone else's infantry rather than try and trade crossbows, because the Pavese don't really seem to kill each other. It's just kind of a waste of ammunition. Them English longbowmen are slaughtering this infantry. They really, really are. They are doing some crazy damage. Who has the cavalry advantage right now? I think the English and Trier do. I don't know though. They don't really have that much though. Only a handful of their generals of cavalry there. I think actually maybe the cavalry might be even. And both sides still have their general as well, right? Yeah, both sides still have their general. As the crossbows come in. I mean, I say that the crossbows are starting to do some serious damage to these dudes, but not too much. They've also got some spears, so basically blocking off this general unit right here. However, he is going to be able to smash through this line if he wants to. Yeah, he's going to, and he should be able to break it fairly nicely. Even though it is a spear line, the cavalry can do serious damage against anyone who's just really thin. But that's not going to be worth it. He's going to be taking quite a few casualties as he tries to pull out, as the cavalry does get stuck in there as they try and turn around and retreat out. The archer fire is still going in, and again the English longbowmen proving their worth, now trying to take down some of these foot ritter as well. These guys are extremely undefended, no shield or anything, so yeah, the longbowmen are going to be having a field day right now. You can see their number really going down. And the English spear line, the English have the advantage right now of just being able to be stationary here, not having to commit, and basically just waiting for the enemy to come to them. And as you can see, that's exactly what's having to happen. You got foot knights though round the back, going through the spear wall and charging in against the enemy foot ritter, with the support of the spearmen as well. And the battle lines have now collided. I feel like Trier and the English have this battle. just because they have a lot more quality left and their range is going to be doing some serious damage. But then again, you know, the Norwegian foot ritter are going to be doing some good damage. I think maybe it's whoever's cavalry can really come out on top, but you also have all these 4 units of foot knights as well, which are going to come colliding into the side. The archers, I mean, it wouldn't be a bad idea to focus down this general for Norway, because he is kind of out in the open. Every English volley as well is taking out, you know, 10, 15, 20 guys, which is not bad. There are gaps, however, in Trier's line, but they don't really have enough infantry to mitigate every single gap, so if Lorraine want to try and exploit that, they easily can by just throwing infantry and cavalry through these gaps. Obviously, there's a unit of infantry back here, but, you know, that's going to leave a gap. You know, there's a gap right here. They could try and sneak forward, and once they get into the back line, that is going to be doing some deadly damage. But, oh my god, almost as much damage as the foot ritter. However, this is now broken, allowing Trier to charge in the rest of their infantry. They're throwing in some knights as well. The English are going to go in and try and take out the Trier general. The Lorraine general, which is currently stationary right there, going a little bit out in the open. Going to try and chase him down as the rest of the infantry get stuck down. Actually, no, just charging down his foot ritter. But immediately we see Lorraine's crossbows changing over to kill these knights. And then also a great cavalry charge there by the nobles of Lorraine. Not bad. I mean, this is good. Trading cavalry right now once the English have the infantry engagement is great. Oh, but this is exactly what I was saying was really bad for the forces of Trier in England, is that they can easily get exploited like this, and all of a sudden you have some Alsace dismounted knights engaging against crossbowmen, and obviously, as you can see, they're going to be doing some great damage against them, especially as they try and retreat out. But more reinforcements, the Elector's swordsmen are now being thrown in. Over on this other side as well, we're getting a real big push here by the English, committing some of their most elite heavy infantry to the fight up against these candlemen. And as you can see, the English are going to be just slaughtering these guys. They're not really meant to. We do have some of the guests moving in though, and I think they're like kind of more an aggressive infantry archer hybrid. We also have some of the foot ritter as well. Oh, brutal attacks right there. But again, I think it's just going to fall. This flank is going to fold over to the English. Has some cavalry rear charging into the back. A great cavalry charge right there by the English. However, they are immediately met by a hail of arrows. Halberds as well, facing up against the Trier sword infantry. Sword infantry, looks like the fight is going in favour of Lorraine over there, but also Lorraine have now managed to get onto the Archbishop, and I think the Archbishop might be dying very, very quickly. I mean, also so is the Lorraine general. He's down to 21 bodyguards, René II. But with the support of his infantry, I think the Archbishop might be very close to dying. Yeah, look at his numbers just dropping now. He is now also down to 21, and this could definitely dictate the front line. If either the Lorraine or Archbishop go down, that is going to be catastrophic. But we are going to be getting a reinforcement right here as the Elector's men-at-arms come flying in to go ahead and support their Archbishop. So whoever's general goes down is going to be catastrophic, because a lot of these units are which are close to routing. Oh, there we go. The Archbishop has routed. Now, if Lorraine can get their general out, they might still stand a chance. But I think they're just looking to quickly try and break this unit of Electors as more infantry comes in. The English front line is starting to win slowly. But surely it is going in their favour. I think it's only going to be a matter of time until they really claim victory, especially with matchups like this. You know, with these heavy knights going up against more kind of hybrid infantry. Even though they are good, they're going to be no match for the foot knights of England. And these flanks are starting to crumble. Really nice manoeuvres here as well to go ahead and envelop them, basically just freeing up this entire flank. And Norway looks like they're completely broken now. Only a handful of men left going, and the English can just move around. And the nice thing is about these English bowmen is they're not actually that bad in melee combat. Now, they're not going to be like foot knight class or dismounted heavy knight class, but they can hold their own against some low, kind of like low tier infantry. They can hold their own and win, and even against the higher tier infantry, they can still stay alive for a decent amount of time so that reinforcements can arrive. And you can see, using them once they run out of ammunition is not a bad idea. They also have pretty good morale as well. Like, obviously they'll still get run down by cavalry, but against, like, especially against crossbows, they'll probably win. But even against, like, some of these lower tier 14th century spearmen, like, they'll hold their own for a while. A nice rear charge by going off. They are only equipped with small daggers though, so their offensive capabilities aren't amazing. I mean, they have this big sword right here. I don't know why they didn't just pull that one out, but I guess they're more nimble with that smaller sword. Now everyone else is just closing off. I mean, the halberds have also gone in now, and they'll do some serious damage, but they're also, I think, being enveloped by some of Trier's infantry. The crossbows charging against the archers. Yeah, I mean, if you look at the difference in equipment right now, the Pavese crossbows seem pretty well equipped, right? Huge Pavese shields and swords compared to the tinsy dagger that the longbows have. So I guess it allows them to maybe sneak around these shields and stab the face. Yeah, the entirety of the English army is now moving around. We also have the English King's bodyguard as well. Gonna get a beautiful rear charge off here onto the back of these crossbowmen and probably just break them straight up. Not actually quite. And we also have the Archbishop as well, who's come back from routing. He's going to be forming up and I imagine charging in against the Guild halberds. Or maybe not. Maybe these crossbows are going to just look to break them. But either way, the battle is now over. Even though the English could not reinforce... Oh, that's brutal. Even though the English could not reinforce their Flanders ally, they still did an admirable job at winning the battle overall. So Flanders' sacrifice was not in vain. And I mean, they have a fair amount of men left. Yeah, 2,800 men left. So they really slaughtered them after when they came to bear. After that initial kind of two 2v1s happened. The English in Trier really went to town. And as you can see, yeah, the English literally only lost 681 men. Wow, that's not bad. He wasn't really in the focal point of a fight when it, like, whatsoever. And then the English longbowmen, I imagine, did some good damage. Yeah, 176 kills, almost 200 on this unit. And then Knights, again, yeah, there's hardly any casualties on the English right there. Not bad. Smoky, again, his crossbows doing pretty good in his front line of dismounted Flemish men-at-arms. Held for as long as possible, but he was being 2v1. And even the Flemish pikemen as well, doing half decent. Over on Trier as well, again, look at these Knight kills. 300, 400 kills on that. Very, very impressive. Over on the other side, we have the Duchy of Lorraine, who held off admirably towards the end with over 200 kills, 183 on these knights, so a nice usage of them, and the cavalry also doing an impressive job. Over on Denmark's side, I mean, they were outmatched and probably outclassed with quality-wise of the infantry, but Denmark did, do their job at just delaying the English as much as possible and gave as much time to his allies to form up and start attacking. And then finally, Norway, again, their foot ritter are probably the strong point of this army and doing quite good as well. 251 kills, 300 kills on this foot ritter. I think that's the highest dismounted unit in the entire battle, so not too bad there whatsoever. So hopefully you guys enjoyed this battle. If you want to see more scenario battles like this in the future, let me know. Drop a like on the video and let me know in the comments, or let the guys know in the comments down below what you would like to see next and if you want to see more of these. And I'll see you guys in the next one.